You know, the last Judge Jackson left the Supreme Court to go to Nuremberg and prosecute the case against the Nazis. This Judge Jackson might have gone there to defend them.
Okay, so that's fun. That's Tom Cotton talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson, who every reasonable person knows and admits is fully qualified to be on the Supreme Court. She's gonna be on the Supreme Court and has been attacked this entire time as a supporter of pedophilia or critical race theory or whatever. Nothing that has anything to do with her life or what she would be as a justice. Now, Senator Tom Cotton sliding at the last minute, right before she's put in the Supreme Court, to declare that in addition to having been a public defender, what she would have done with the Nazis is be an ardent defender of them. Brett, is this a fair line? What do you think?
I mean, they're calling everyone a pedophile. At least they didn't call her a pedophile. They just called her a Nazi sympathizer. The root of this is that she was a public defender, which is something that they guarantee everyone in America a right to due process. She was the person in the due process giving the thing that the founding fathers ensured people would have. And you get assigned to that as you're a public defender. You just go like, okay, today's case is this, today's case is that. The Al-Qaeda people you're talking about, they dropped the charges against them anyway.
Yeah.
So this guy is evil. Tom Cotton is thoroughly evil. He is an evil person, and I'm not just saying that because he reminds me so much of the lead character in Psycho. He is Anthony Perkins without the charm. But like, you know how crazy unhinged you have to be to go. And I love that it's prefaced with all of these people saying, listen, she is very qualified. She worked very hard to get where she is. She's a great mother, I assume, but she's a pedophile and a Nazi.
Yeah,
with a straight face they say this.
It was Tim Scott was like, I just want to recognize how historic this is that a black woman is finally in the Supreme Court, and I will not be supporting her. Then that doesn't count for anything. Then what do you think that is? He wasn't the only one. I mean, there's only 3 Republicans. Many of them want to be able to clip out selectively. It's good that this is happening, and I will do literally everything I can with my political power to stop it from happening. Some of them, of course, go farther. Tom Cotton is a great one there. Which is worse, being called a supporter of pedophilia or a potential defender of Nazis? I don't know. I'll throw that out to you. Weigh in below. But it is ridiculous. By the way, Tom Cotton, I personally think that everyone in every trial should get a defender. And I am in no way worried about the Nazis having had defenders in their lawsuits, because you know what? They'll still lose. You seem to think, well, if they had a good lawyer, maybe they could have gotten off, and we couldn't allow that. Ridiculous approach. But you should understand that this guy who wants you to believe that Ketanji Brown Jackson is fundamentally evil, closely affiliated in some hypothetical philosophical way with the Nazis, she's evil. He said back in 2020 this: we have to study the history of slavery and its role and impact on the development of our country, because otherwise we can't understand our country. It sounds like a launching into of critical race theory, but he goes on to say, as the founding fathers said, it was the necessary evil upon which the Union was built. But the Union was built in a way, as Lincoln said, to put slavery on the course to its ultimate extinction. First of all, nobody thinks that if he had been a senator back during the times of slavery, he'd be advocating for it to be extinct. He definitely wouldn't. But he says it's a necessary evil. There was no other way, Brett. We could not have become a country except for that. So I guess it's bad, but thank God it happened.
He's so ridiculous. Like, I don't know where to start with him. And it used to be, you've heard the term pick your battles, right? Pick your battles. The Republicans are picking every battle and just making a mockery of it. Every little thing. This is the self-avowed strategy, or at least tactic, of Mitch McConnell, is to block everything, even wildly qualified Supreme Court justices. And there's no excuse for Tom Cotton to be saying any of this. He went to Harvard Law School. He clerked in the District Court of Appeal, in the U.S. District Court of Appeals. He is evil. That's why I say he's evil. This is the definition of an evil human being.
Yeah,
because he is going out there to completely mischaracterize someone, and he should get his law license revoked if this is how he characterizes the entire situation and the way that the legal process works.
That sounds damn near like a consequence, so I don't expect that'll happen. What this is effectively is just vice signaling. They don't like virtue signaling. They don't like someone saying something positive, reflecting values that would improve the world, but they have to continually reassure their base that they are just as awful, just as craven, just as deplorable as they are, and that's what he's doing. And it isn't the first time, actually.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.